is a true representation of what's happened in our lives and kind of the rebranding and coming back together of Warren and Shane since Silers and since we recorded in 03. So that's a long time coming. It's been almost a decade. So,
and I would say to add to that too, the last thing since, and the Finnegan Bell EP went this way, but from the last time we wrote and recorded together, we were in that season of playing music, we're very deliberate about writing confessional songs, much more confessional songs about our faith. I mean, that was kind of that's who we were as Silers. And this record, although that's intrinsically who we are and who our families are and all that stuff, this album is much more in the veins of singer-songwriter, Americana, songs about life and relationships and all that stuff. I mean, that's kind of, I think for people that listen to Silers for a decade and listen to this, it will have a slightly less confessional bent lyrically. And hopefully, my great hope is the departure is that everything's just more seasoned and more mature. I mean, I hope that's when we're done, I hope that's the first thing I hear.
That was something we were very deliberate about from the start. When Warren and I started thinking about, hey man, we've got these new songs and we've been playing them out and really trying them out and testing them live, and we're excited about, again, the maturity and the stuff that Warren even just talked about. We feel like we're growing, and hopefully that's always true. Just excited about it. And so, where would we want to do that? And yeah, the truth is, we could always go to Nashville, and Nashville's wonderful, and we have a blast doing records there. But this is home. It's not just we have roots here. I mean, this is born and raised home. Family still here. So we, to be at a place where I can bring my kids up and leave them with the grandparents and come here with old friends, in a great facility, in our hometown, it's just exactly what we wanted. We were actually, once we got over that hurdle of where we should do this and decided here, we couldn't be more pleased and more excited to be back in Columbia to do this record in this way.
I think a big part too for us in that decision is Kenny McWilliams has been a huge advocate of ours over the last, for a decade, but specifically over the last 3 or 4 summers. He's just been a great encourager to us of keep writing, let's do something. And so for us, I think we've always started with whoever is going to be involved in the album has got to be somebody that is decidedly on your side, that has a belief in what you can do and has some vision of what they might be able to pull out of you that you don't even know is there. And I think Kenny's had that for the last 3 or 4 years. And so I think for me, that's one thing that is incredibly reassuring in the decision to do it at Archer Avenue is that, we've known Kenny and Eric, half of our life, but the fact that the stuff they keep doing and that comes out of the studio keeps getting better and better, and the sounds they get are great and they're relevant and they're current. And that's stuff that we think will be incredibly beneficial to the album. Shane, typically the melodies and hearing where the melodies are going to go, that's typically birthed in Shane's head. And then typically my role is to go, all right, lyrically, let's hash that out and let's shape it together. I mean, I think that's probably the easiest way to say that works.
Yeah, man. I mean, everybody's writing relationship is so different and interesting, and I've met with so many writers who write completely different than me, and there's actually a name for the way that I hear melodies. But yeah, I mean, the 50-50 thing is, as you said, is absolutely. I mean, when you get into a room, it doesn't matter if it's a chorus I've had for 5 years or whatever. It's the process of putting it all together and arranging it and phrasing it and all that stuff. Once you're in it, doing it together, then it's certainly it's just all part of the process. But I literally will come to Warren singing gibberish. So I'm a melodic writer. I write melodies first. I very rarely think lyrics first. And then then it's a matter of what kind of metaphor, what kind of story do you want to tell, and all that stuff. So, which Warren and I have framed together pretty well usually. What I hope people get out of it is just to stop and to pause and find some beauty, because it's there to be found. And I think more and more we're finding, the older we get, that's maybe God's greatest intent with music, was to give us pause and to make us stop and soak it in for a minute, even if it's just for a moment, So yeah, I mean, there's moments of, and I don't mean that it's all this, just dreary, beautiful stuff. That sounds real flighty. I hope that makes sense. But anyway, that's for me. Yeah, I hope people listen to it and stop and go, wow, they made some good art.